Hey, Miller the Killer, Skin So Vanilla, back with another YouTube thriller. Alright guys, so welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Aaron. I also go by Aaron Fitness, and today we are going to talk about how to get into the gym for beginners. A lot of people deal with gym anxiety. They want to get better with their fitness. They want to look better. They want to feel more confident, but they don't necessarily know how to go about going to the gym because it's this intimidating place with weights and cardio and big, swole, ripped people that, it could be pretty overwhelming going for the very first time. So I'm gonna break it down for you so you know what you should be focusing on so that you can have a productive and effortless gym session. When I mean effortless, I'm not talking about the actual work you're gonna be putting in. I'm talking about the logistics of things, because you shouldn't be worrying about what you need to be doing or who's looking at you or anything like that, because that's just going to interfere with your own ability to create progress for yourself. So if you're going for the very first time to the gym, you need to have some certain expectation as to what you're doing in the gym for your own goals. So you need to have a certain understanding as to what you want to do fitness-wise. Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to gain muscle? Because that will dictate where you spend the majority of your time. The most important thing to know when you step into the gym is that you should have a plan. And this plan should not necessarily be, the perfect plan, but you should have somewhat of a plan. So if you want to start gaining muscle, you should have a split, as in push-pull legs. So on one day you'll be hitting push, another day you'll be hitting pull, another day you'll be hitting leg. So for example, you step into the gym and you're just doing random things just because, of course you're gonna be burning calories, you're gonna get a workout in, but it's not gonna be optimal if you wanna get results. I recommend looking up a certain split, as in a push-pull legs, or a bro split, or something that works for your schedule that you could stick to, and then do it when you get to the gym. Let's say for example, you're gonna have chest and triceps on Monday. You should have on paper or in your notes on your phone as to what exercises you should be hitting in order, and also the amount of sets and the amount of reps. So you're not going into the gym doing random things, you actually have a plan. And this plan should be sort of tailored to your goal. And I mean as in the rep ranges, the intensity, rest time. You probably don't know enough about all that stuff just yet. So the most important part is just having the right exercises and having the right amount of reps. Let's say if you want to start building muscle, let's stay within the 6 to 12 rep range. So let's always have that as the rule of thumb as a beginner. And let's also have around 3 to 4 sets per exercise. Say it's chest day, chest and triceps. You want to have written down, first exercise is going to be dumbbell incline bench press. Second exercise is going to be dumbbell flat bench press. Third exercise is going to be a cable fly. Okay, now we're going on to triceps, which would be a skull crusher or a tricep extension with the cables. Maybe you have two exercises there. So you should have, as a rule of thumb, maybe 3 to 4 sets per exercise, and rest between 90 seconds to 2 or 3 minutes. But that's just giving you a template as to what you can do when you step into the gym, rather than just jumping from random machine to machine and just doing things until you're tired. Yeah, you might see a response, but it's not going to be optimal. And what we want to do is make sure we're spending our time optimally and getting the best results for the time that we put in. So when you're actually at the gym, you've arrived at the gym, what I recommend that you do, and this is what I do every single time that I go to the gym, first place that I'm going is the bathroom. You should be going to the bathroom, getting rid of all of that nervous energy, doing what you got to do. Number 1, number 2, number 3, I don't know what number you're doing. Just make sure you get it out of the way before you start your workout, because you don't want that interrupting while you're trying to get that workout in. So once everything is done with that, now we're going to proceed to the warm-up. You don't want to jump straight into any of the exercises that you have listed until you warm up. And I'm not talking about your PE stretching where you're on the ground and you're reaching and touching your toes. That's not what I'm talking about. It needs to be specific to the day that you're doing. So let's say, for example, it's back and biceps. That's an upper body day. What you can do is grab a resistance band around, and you're just going to be opening up your shoulders. You're just going to add more circulation to your rotator cuff, because that's what a lot of people injure. They don't do the things that they need to do when it comes to warming up, and they wind up having too much intensity too quickly, and then they wind up having to go to the doctor because they tore something in their rotator cuff. We can avoid that by just making this a routine before you work out. Every single time before you hit upper body day, we're going to focus on opening up the rotator cuff with an elastic band, doing some internal and external rotation, and that's going to be very helpful. So look, I actually have a band right here. I would get yourself one of these. This is like I think this is a 50-pound band, but it doesn't matter what the weight is. All that matters is that we're opening up the thoracic cavity, all of this area right here, because this is what's going to improve your blood circulation, improve the synovial fluid in your joints, so that things just run smoother when you're actually pushing yourself and you don't have to worry about feeling uncomfortable. Also, you don't have to injure yourself. So that's key. Definitely start doing warm-ups. Now, if you're going to be doing a leg day warm-up, what I do recommend, which you can do on your upper body day as well, is go on the treadmill for around 5 to 10 minutes. Just have like a little walk. You can maybe put a little incline on there. Just game plan as to what you're going to be doing once you're done warming up on the treadmill. So you'll know exactly where you need to be going. So you don't have to double think about, okay, should I go here? Oh my God, that person's using this, that, and this. You'll have a game plan. In addition to doing the treadmill, you should be doing like hip opening type of movements, anything where your groin is being stretched, anything that's emulating or imitating the type of movement that you're actually going to be performing with no weight. If you do all of these types of exercises with no weight, with the lightest weight possible on any machine that you're getting to, that's considered also a warm-up. That's the best thing that you can do to just prime your muscles and your joints for that movement. Do not sleep on the warm-ups, especially as a beginner, because if you learn this from the jump, you are going to have the longevity that a lot of people don't have because they skip this part of their journey. But once you're done warming up, you want to follow your game plan. So whatever exercises you have written down for that day, whether you looked it up online, whether you looked at my page as to how I format my workout, you want to make sure that you're following what that is. You go to that first exercise, say you've never really done it before, you don't feel necessarily very comfortable with the form. Like I said, what you should do is always start super, super light. Just try to go through the movement as perfectly as possible. And if you have no idea what the perfect form looks like, this is where YouTubing things comes in handy. I'm telling you, this is exactly how I learned when I was 15 years old and I had no idea how to do anything. I would just YouTube it. Lat pull down form, chest press form, how to pick up dumbbells correctly. Anything like that, you can find it online. Don't be ashamed that you're looking that up while you're in the gym. Everybody's doing their own thing. A lot of people think that people are judging them. Just keep your head down, focus on you. And honestly, you don't even need to necessarily keep your head down. The thing is, everybody's more so focused on themselves. Just don't fall into the trap of comparing your chapter 1 to another person's like chapter 85. Okay, some people have been lifting for 20, 30 years. So just know that this is a learning process. You have to be patient. It takes time, but you will get there. This is a weird one, but make sure before you jump on any equipment or using any equipment in general, like say for a bench, make sure you wipe it down. I'm telling you, so many people don't wipe down their equipment before they use it, and there you can get like a skin infection. I've actually gotten ringworm from using people's stuff without wiping it down. So you live and you learn, okay? I'm telling you right now, out of my 10 years experience, you should definitely be wiping down your machines and your benches before you use them. And if you're a really good person, definitely do it after you're done as well. Another important thing to note, wherever you pick up a certain weight, put it back to where you found it. That is exactly what a lot of people don't do, and they make memes about them. So re-rack your weights. That's very important. Another thing to avoid when you're in the gym, just like some gym etiquette in general, if you're in a mirror and you're looking at yourself and your form in the mirror, just make sure that you're not blocking somebody who's behind you who's also trying to do the exact same thing. So we're all just trying to get better, gain muscle, gain strength, make sure we're doing the right things. We don't want to interfere on someone else's journey. Just be respectful to others and just be mindful. That's it. Also, this is very, very important and a skill you definitely need to master when you're in the gym. So if you're waiting for a certain exercise, a certain machine, or a certain piece of equipment that is part of your workout, don't necessarily substitute it because somebody's on it. Make sure that you always ask them respectfully, hey, excuse me, how many sets do you have left? I'm telling you, that goes a long way. Don't manipulate your entire program because people are using certain equipment. Of course, you can substitute certain things if you want to keep your intensity high, but you don't want to make that a habit because we want to continue doing the same exercises and progressing with them rather than switching it up every so often. And also, when you're going to the gym, make sure you're focusing on form for the first time. But when you feel like your form is pretty good, it's pretty sound, you want to begin increasing the weight. You want to jump up in weight very little because you don't want to do too large of a jump because you're risking injury, and you're also risking the fact that you won't be able to lift it at all. But the thing is, you're going to be failing. It is what it is. Like, the whole point is so that you are going to learn from the fails so that you can adjust and progress so that you don't fail anymore. And that's exactly what the gym is. It's just that people have been going for 10, 20, 30 years, they've already failed so many times and now they're much stronger than all those failed lifts. So you want to keep that in mind. It's completely okay for you to be failing lifts. If you can't lift anything in general, it's part of the process. So you have to go through the trial and error of selecting the Goldilocks weight. So there's a certain weight that you should be using at this time that's going to give you the greatest stimulus of growth. It's going to be a challenging weight. You shouldn't be able to get 8 reps super easily with like 10 reps more in the tank. You need to get those 8 reps with nothing left in the tank, or maybe 1 left in the tank. It's all about selecting the appropriate weight where you are being challenged sufficiently, where you don't have extra reps that you could expend. That's where you're actually going to grow, because a lot of these people, they're going to be lifting weight that is way too light for them because they're afraid. They don't want to fail, and they have no idea how strong they actually are. So you're never going to get stronger until you give yourself that stimulus. Do not be afraid to see what you can and cannot handle. If you're dealing with anxiety in the gym in particular, and you're kind of overthinking the whole thing about going to the gym and people are looking at you and you just feel still uneasy, what you need to focus on is just minimizing the amount of distractions that you have. So people, like, you don't really want to interact with people. I suggest and recommend bringing a pair of headphones and listening to a dope playlist. I'll link my playlist if you're looking for some music that's pretty hype. But you want to be able to zone out the distractions and just focus on one thing, and that's your workout. Everything else is secondary. Work doesn't matter, relationships doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters, because what you're trying to focus on is just getting a proper workout in. And if you are feeling like you're not confident and you feel like people are judging you so much, which they aren't, I just want to let you know, fake it till you make it. Just act like you are knowing exactly what you're doing, and no one's going to question it. If you're just kind of like lingering around machines and like looking at people while you're like trying to move things around and stuff like that, like, yeah, you could probably attract some attention, because people are like, what's going on? Why is this guy looking at me? Like, what's going on? And even if that does happen, say that awkward situation does happen, you could literally just explain like, yo, I don't really know how to set this up. And guess what? 9 out of 10 times, that person is going to help you out. People have literally asked me so many times, like, yo, can you help me like take this attachment off? Or I don't even know how to do it. And sometimes I don't even know how to do it. So don't feel like everybody's an expert, because they're not. So just know that you can have confidence in attempting to look like you know what you're doing, and it'll be fine. So it's really just a drop in the bucket in the grand scheme of everything. So once you get over that, the sky's the limit. This is a learning process. You're going to be failing. You're going to be doing some awkward things. You're not going to know how certain things work, but you're going to learn. You're going to find out, and things are going to be okay. I will say, when you're done lifting, say you wanted to do cardio within your workout. So just know that you should always do your lifting first and then your cardio after. You always want to expend more energy with the lifting portion of things rather than expending all your energy on the cardio beforehand. It's just the best way to do it. You're gonna get the best results if you put your workout, as in your resistance training, your weightlifting first, and then focus on the cardio afterwards. So that's something that a lot of people don't know. A lot of people just start to do their cardio beforehand, and then they're very weak when they start to lift because they just burned 300 to 400 calories doing cardio, and now they're not getting the muscle gain that they wanted. Say you're completely done with your workout now. What you should do is, well, this is what I do, and I wish I knew this a long time ago, because you're touching so many things and so much equipment in the gym. Literally everybody's touching that stuff. What you should do is sanitize your phone and sanitize your water bottle, okay? Always have a water bottle with you, by the way. Totally forgot to tell you. Bring a water bottle with you. Bring a water bottle. You don't want to be just drinking from the water fountain. Bring a water bottle with you. Make sure you have a phone with you. Maybe bring some pen and paper, because some people like to write their stuff. Me personally, I like to write in my phone. That's pretty much everything when it comes to stepping into the gym and just getting over your fears, and kind of like a broad beginner's guide as to what you should be doing when you step into the gym. So if you guys have any other tips or suggestions what other people could do, don't be afraid to drop a comment in the comment section. Let people know. We're all part of this lifting fitness community together. It should never be something where we're putting other people down. We should all be helping each other out, because at one point you didn't know anything, and maybe you have some experience that could help another person. So that's what I believe is what we should all be doing in the fitness industry, at least. So yeah, this has been informative, and hopefully you've been able to gather some tips that you can implement into your routine. If you have any questions or anything like that, just shoot me a DM and we can discuss it further if necessary. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, aaron fitness, and I am also on TikTok. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, and thanks for watching.